Oh, continuing case 3, the flashback one, where we're playing as Gregory Edgeworth. And we only got about 20 minutes into this, so honestly, a lot of the details I don't really know or remember, besides the fact that it's the guy from the cooking show, and he has a 17-year-old partner who we didn't know was 17, which is pretty commonplace for this game. Like in this universe, that's not necessarily a warning sign.
It's like all their kids are super young, I guess.
Yes. So, I guess it's time to learn a little more. I'm also going to double check, make sure we're streaming properly. Yep, you're streaming. Okay, time to look around. So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah. They took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it. It appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah, a woman by the name of Bound found it. Samson, are you in here?
Wait,
Yeah. Did we already meet Bound? Yep.
oh, she's the...
Yeah, she's the 16-year-old. I actually gave her an extra year. Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was. If only we had just a little more information. There's something else in here. Huh, it looks like a seal of some kind, with somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it.
It's sealed, but I'm looking like a... Okay.
Anyway, it's gonna get logged anyway, so I'll take that. Shit. It's really rather impressive making an entire ship out of chocolate. That's Samson Tagaroa for you. Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it? Which part to bite first, though? That's the real head-scratcher, you know. Bite any part of it, kid, but you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin. Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that. I do sometimes wish Eddie would keep his cool a little better. Heck, he eventually did. One of the stands for the ship is broken. The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think? Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, this becomes an accidental death, and not a murder. You too serious? Don't worry, Detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility. I was being serious, though. Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this? No skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something? No, it means you take them. Yep. No way. Sounds pretty convenient. That's the one that Leonard used in Memento. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why. I'd like to think it's this. I mean, this seems like the sound of something breaking, broken stand. Sounds like it works. The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Mistbound running. Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? And you are? Yes, he does. Yeah, the scar goes like into the hat.
I think the hat's cut there too.
Oh. Sorry, meditating. Did you want something, detective? Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth, a pleasure to meet you. And I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender. I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. I'm a confectioner, here for the contest. You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto? Yeah, by accident. That's impressive. The art of air and sugar.
Impressive.
He's starry-eyed.
Starry-eyed.
Yeah, that was an impressive display. That's a dragon?
Yeah.
It does look more aquatic than airborne. No need to sugarcoat him. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zheng Fa when this is all over. I need to train hard. Perhaps we should get off the subject of his design sense for now. So what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet. Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here. Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Those are some interesting implements you used, Mr. Gusto.
Turkey baking.
Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar. They're so cool, it's like watching a sword master do his thing. I'm no master, not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. I've never heard of red being used for that. The way of the confection... Actually, I have, kind of, but... Well, never mind. The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one, too, if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play. The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art. Confectionery as art? Art you can eat, every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible. The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate. Tangaroa is a genius, once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win. I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah? As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here, nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively. And a treasure, the ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to contestants. They don't do that. Yeah, I finished. sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over. How was the judging organized? It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room and worked his way around the venue clockwise. My creations were first to be judged. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then last of all, Frost Room. This thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, or so I heard. Bound found the body, while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claimed she didn't know a thing about it until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. By the way, Detective Dad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here, the one in the frame. It seemed like something was off. Though I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. Then Bozo showed up and pulled me away from my very important work. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hint, can you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out? Of course, confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Samson really is a god among men. Is it really made of chocolate, though? It looks far too much like a regular illustration to me. You have a good eye. I'm impressed. Yes, there is. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook, in other words, the grand prize. What? So it's not made of chocolate after all. No, the book is simply framed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules. But the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time. Anyway, you see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing. Ah, the oddity Detective Dad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier. Yes. You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame. So it's not just me. Oh, what's missing? I gotta show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. This part.
Take that!
Look closely, Eddie. Don't you feel that something is lacking here? Sorry, art's not really my thing. Maybe that's just an artistic flourish, you know? My glasses must have slipped. That's not the part I meant to point out. You, were talking about something being missing from the frame, right? That's right, you don't need to know anything about art to see what it is.
Oh, the gold boots on the bottom.
Ah,
It's just the him coming on
yeah. That might be something else we have to investigate, but... Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no? Oh yeah, it's different from the other side. That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit. You're right, the candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them? That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed with his work? He'd never do that to his own creations, never. Could this have some deeper meaning for the case? Alright, now let's look at that thing. Are these finger marks? Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID. Finger marks without prints. That could certainly be important to the case. It's a real head scratcher, alright. Not really, I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves. I wish your sense of romance, or adventure. There doesn't tend to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie. Ah, shoot! Are you alright, Eddie? Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here. Yes, it wasn't exactly warm in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket? No, I'm fine. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. Heh, I did, didn't I? Why do they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall. What panel? Look at that! It was here this whole time. There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works. And what do the controls do? They adjust the temperature and the lighting. It goes all the way down to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting. So in effect, each room is a giant freezer. It's 59 degrees in here, no wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, you mind if we turn it up a little? Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. But I'm not a detective. Same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime. You get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it. Oh, you know the temperature by heart, huh? I guess it is your job. It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more. Alright, what about lollipops and cream? If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. Need to watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted. Detective Bad kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he? I suppose he must be very fond of them. Paraphernalia. Think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to death with one of them. Can't tell what's real in here. They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills. How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in a cupboard, or... Yes, sir. So there is? Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir. You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right? No. So you have something to add? No. Can't get your answer, a straight answer out of anybody. Perhaps you should ask a straight question. The Red Rover and the Crimson Tide. It looks like this title is the inspiration for everything on display here in this room. The ship and the treasure chest, of course, but also all the other nautical objects on display. Certainly a suitably grand theme with which to showcase Mr. Tangaroa's talents. There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier. You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were Dustin's friends. His were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils, too? Everything else had been washed, or there weren't any prints to find. And if Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves when he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teapot and cup. Whoops. Seeing that there's a contradiction. Remember when he said there was something that contradicted something? Well, we can deduce now, so makes me wonder if there's some contradiction in this picture in the crime scene. I will say, I don't think we finished, because I just realized we can go here. So maybe we finish this up. It's titled Voyage to the Red Rover. After sailing the seven seas, the legendary ship happens upon a great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. Who knew? So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything. Not exactly the luckiest crew out there. Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about. Did they even have detectives back in those days?
Eureka!
And I'm gonna be honest, all the wedding planning we did today, I'm already exhausted. I'm having a hard time concentrating. Um, I know this was really super short, but I'm gonna have to tap out for now. Maybe later I'll be better. Yeah, like, I feel like this is a bad stream if I'm gonna be like this. Yeah, so I'm gonna relax. Apologies, but busy